You're right.
Overwatch. Welcome back, everybody. Overwatch tonight. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be grand. I am Spooky Hand. Ooh, crazy rhyme scheme right there. Welcome back, everybody. I am Spooky Hand, and I am with the wonderful
Pokey Penguin.
Hello. Tonight's matches. Welcome back, everybody. Of course. Tonight's matches, grand. They're gonna be great.
Best matches you've ever seen.
Yeah. I I mean, we're expecting big things. We're expecting grand things, like I said earlier. We have. Oh, I bumped my mic. We have the players playing in the back there. They're warming up, getting ready to go. But we have our matchups graphics as always. Ball State tonight versus Kent State. Miami versus EMU. Ohio versus Buffalo. Akron versus U Toledo. NIU versus BG Esports. Sorry, I can't even read. BGSU, and then WMU has a bye week, and CMU versus NEU. So yeah, we got that tonight. What else do we have on this list that is so gratefully in front of me? We have Saturday's match, Saturday's league match, Ball State versus Akron. Only one game played. Akron did end up forfeiting that second match. You didn't get to see too much, but it was a wonderful show to watch regardless. We actually had one of the varsity members up to bat at the casting desk with one of our own, Daphne. So they did great. But let's get into a bit of the rosters now. We have Ball State's roster, of course. We have a wonderful graphic for that as well. You can go ahead and do that.
Wow, yeah, look at all those beautiful faces up there. We got Ghost, we got Droid, we got Ada, we got Raven Strider, we got, is it Yakester or Yaxter? Yakester?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Spencer, we got Morty1, and we got Alphabet, the top dogs here, ready to take flight.
Yeah, of course, Ada, their coach. I'm trying to, the only one, so I'm learning them all. I'm pretty sure Alphabet is a backup support. Bordy is their flex DPS. Raven, I also think, is their one of the backup supports or their support. Droid is their tank, and I think that's all I know. I'm still learning, but I'm getting there. I will have all of the names down by next Tuesday, I guarantee it. But we also have the KSU roster, so I think we have a graphic for that too. Let's see. We do. So we have Bluke, Indigo, Pushpin, Dr. Rosenow, Violet Overwatch, Grumpo, Suji, and Z Lewis. Some of those names actually look familiar to me.
Yeah, I feel like for Grumpo standing up for me.
Z Lewis, I'm pretty sure we had. I'm not. This either is because we had a double header, but that Z Lewis is definitely a memorable name to me for some reason. So I could be very well wrong, but we shall certainly see. What else do we have? I'm told that we have a quiz tonight.
Yes, I've heard mumblings.
Yeah, the funny funky Carlos quiz. So I don't know if that'll show up on the screen or if they're just gonna tell us whisper sweet nothings in our ear.
But before we get into the quiz, I'm being told we got a NACE match coming up soon next week.
I did not know about the NACE match.
So we got Rocket League black team going up against I don't know.
Carlos. What is the answer, Carlos?
We're going up against Rochester.
Okay, thank you, Carlos.
Next Wednesday, so tune in for that. But, stay right here for now for some Overwatch, okay? Yeah. Don't get too worked up about Rocket League.
Rocket League was last semester. Now we got Overwatch.
Rocket League's old news, okay?
Yeah. It's old news, except... Oh, there it is. Carlos's wacky quiz smiley face.
And there's Carlos.
What was the original use of the ball? It was... I know this one. Do you know this one?
I think I also know this one.
Yeah, it was... I'm pretty sure it was a computer testing lounge.
I was thinking testing center.
What is the answer, Carlos?
Carlos.
Pretty pleased. I hope you got that right. Right, we did. Obviously, well done. Fist pound. Kablam.
Sorry, I got my ring on.
That's fine. I have thick bones. I don't know that.
Is that why your hand's so spooky?
It is. I mean, I don't have my. I can't show my other hand now because of. I've signed an NDA. I can't show my spooky hand on camera except when I do. Oh, that's a lot to read. Okay. Guitar Hero 3 has a note limit. What is that note limit? Hint, no song in Guitar Hero 3 hits this limit. We only hit this limit with custom songs. There actually isn't, and I'm gaslighting. I'm thinking... That was a crazy voice crack. I'm thinking that there isn't one, because there are songs where it's literally just note in like a straight, it literally just looks like a wave of notes. So I'm going with Carlos's gaslighting.
That is also what I was thinking. I was just thinking like, Carlos is the kind of guy who would just be like, yeah, no, I'm gaslighting you right now.
I definitely don't think it is 4,000, 6,000. 10,000 is reasonable, maybe, but I think he's gaslighting us. Oh my!
There's only 4,000.
He wasn't gaslighting us. That's
yeah.
I guess 4,000 notes is a lot more than I thought, but
yeah,
it's like well, I guess it was it Guitar Hero 3? I guess that's not the newest Guitar Hero, unless it is.
Are they still making Guitar Heroes?
Carlos can answer that.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, the answer is no. Thank you.
But
I don't. Okay, well, I guess the answer was 4,000. We're 1 for 2 right now. Let's see. What is the next question in this funky fun quiz? You can hit Alt F4 to force close Rocket League.
Man, this is like I have no clue because when I've played a little bit of Rocket League, and when I played it on Switch.
Okay.
So like.
Okay, if this was a question like, can you open up the Discord UI in Counter Strike? See, I would know the answer to that, because the answer to that is no, you cannot, because that's how cheaters get stuffed into the game, and it's very bad. So they don't let you do that. But we're talking about Rocket League right now. Can you Alt F4 Rocket League? I'm gonna say yes, you can, just because I think Alt F4 should always do something on your computer unless you turn it off.
And I'll just go with the false. Might as well. I have no clue. Just might as well cover the bases.
At least one of us will get it right. Let's find out. Uh-oh.
Carlos, where?
The funky fun quiz is okay. And you really shouldn't disable that. Yeah, kind of
okay.
keep you. I mean, okay. So I'm 1 for 3. You're 2 for 3. We'll see if there's another question in this funky fun quiz.
Oh,
maybe not.
Was that it?
Big ol' 3 questions on the funky fun quiz.
Apparently, Carlos's computer is experiencing technical difficulties right now. The quiz is just too much.
Yeah.
Too much red.
Yeah, the words don't belong on the screen, apparently. They do not enjoy being on that screen in that order, because obviously the answers are all right. None of them are wrong.
Yeah, Carlos probably has like some like weird virus on his computer, like like that Gravity Falls episode.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it would be really funny if Carlos was just like, guys, like, check out this weird thing on my computer, and it's just like a sentient like AI.
For the longest time, I did not know that Stanford was voiced by J.K. Simmons.
I didn't know that for a long time
either.
Yeah.
I like after I literally just got done watching the first 3 episodes of the new season of Invincible, and I heard J.K. Simmons' voice, and then I got to thinking about where I've heard that, and I've heard that voice in a lot of places. He is Cave Johnson. He is.
I always forget he's Cave Johnson.
He's Omni-Man. He's from that one movie where he's like the director of the like percussion or something of like an orchestra.
I don't think I've seen that one.
There's a lot of curse words in it.
Whiplash. Whiplash.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, I've seen Whiplash.
Yeah.
I love Whiplash.
He is obviously Omni-Man. He's Stanford Pines. I am trying to think of other places. Oh yeah, he's the big one.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on that name?
James Jonas Jameson.
Yeah, James Jonas Jameson. JJJ. But yeah, back to the quiz. What is this pattern called?
Man, this is my favorite map in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's called a ladder.
It makes sense. I feel like it's either ladder or sweep.
Yeah.
Both of them make sense to me, but I was also thinking ladder. So, I'll change it up a little bit again. I'll go sweep.
Okay. Yeah, a real pattern names. Well, I think.
Well, what does the sweep pattern look like, huh? You're just gonna leave us hanging, Carlos?
Wow.
Wow.
I don't even remember the other 2, but show them anyways.
Yeah, wasn't even paying attention. Those words don't even matter.
Do we have a 5th question? I don't know how many questions I don't know how many questions we actually have.
Yeah, I don't know either. Well, imagine this is like 30 questions. Like we're gonna get to the end of it, and it's like if James leaves the house at 2 p.m. and takes a train for 30 minutes.
Out of these gaming consoles, which one sold the least? It's definitely not the Wii. It's definitely not the Wii. I hate to say it, I think it's I think it's probably the Xbox 360. And
yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. Because the Xbox names, like all the PlayStation ones, it's 1, 2, and 3.
Well,
Xbox
I play a lot
goes
of
differently.
So it's you have. Hello NDI. Oh, welcome. Get away from our quiz, please. Thank you. Unbelievable. But yeah, we had okay, so you had the original Xbox,
yeah,
and then you had the 360 with the Kinect, and then you had the Xbox One, and then you had the Series S.
It's
not the Series. Well, okay. There's the Series S and the Series X, which kind of came out at the same time. But the Xbox One had an Xbox One S, and I think an Xbox One X. But then there was the Series S and the Series X, which are the new consoles. Xbox naming is confusing, but I'm going to say that it is B because my cousin had a PS3, and so did one of my friends before they switched to Xbox. So I think PlayStation was much more popular before the Xbox One came out.
I'm also going to go 360 because I think was the PS3 when they introduced DVDs? Or is that PS2?
You could play DVDs on the 360. I know that. I used to do that. I think you could also play them on the 360. I think up to now. I think you can still play them on the Series X.
Yeah, I think you can.
But I'm gonna say B. Yeah, due to better games that came out later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Xbox 360 went really into Kinect, and everyone didn't like it.
This is an easy question for me. It's already talking about Transit, the worst
zombies
map.
This is hard one for me.
The worst zombies map ever to exist, except maybe Vanguard. All of Vanguard sucked. Transit was horrible. Transit was so... I'm being told, how dare you? Obviously, the back room has some very vocal dissatisfactions with that answer, but let's see what this says. Transit, the Black Ops 2 Zombies map, has fog and the denizens between which area of the map, and why was this done? A is so that the player slows down and the game can load the next zone properly. Black Ops 2 lore that I'm not going to explain because it's complicated. Denizens were supposed to replace dog rounds, but they had to scrap that due to bugs and force them into the fog. And D, because they thought it was funny. I know the answer to this. I don't know if you do. I
have no clue. I've never been a COD fan.
I'm gonna say you have to answer first then because I just know the answer.
Okay, so let me go over all of them. As fog and between each area of the map. Why was this done? Okay, I mean, A would make sense, so I'm assuming that's not it. They had to place dogs. I'm going to go with B.
Okay. If I'm wrong on this, I hate myself. I'm pretty sure it is A. Like 90% sure that it is A because Transit was too big of a map, and so they added the fog and the denizens so that it could load to the next area because when they made... Yeah, if you went from it, without anything slowing you down, the consoles would crash. Yes. So they added the denizens because instead of making a better map, they kept Transit, which was a horrible idea, and they should have replaced it. Same thing with Die Rise. Die Rise was also horrible. The only good map to come out of that storyline was Buried. Everyone loves Buried. But time to play 3 truths and 1 lie. Find the lie. This is obviously Carlos Things. I have beaten Persona 5 3 times. Longest song I have FC'd, which is full cleared, is 8 minutes and 28 seconds. My most played Steam game is Rocket League. My peak rank at Rocket League is Champ 3. I think it's one of the Rocket League ones.
Do we think Carlos is that good at Rocket League?
He is pretty good. He is pretty solid at Rocket League. I don't know how solid.
Carlos.
He told me once. I don't remember what it was, but I know because we were talking about it, and I said I hit plat, and then he was like, I'm this rank, and we were talking. It was over. We were going over like an ECAC match or one of the matches. And we were showing off like what what Oath did or something, and I was like, I can't do that, I'm plat. And Carlos was like, I can do that because I'm this ranked, but it took me like 2 hours or something. So I believe him when he says his rank is Champ 3. I think that it isn't his most played Steam game though.
Yeah, I gotta think I don't know Carlos plays a lot of Guitar Hero, and they got the computer thing now. I don't know if that's on Steam, which is But if it is on Steam, I would assume that
Rocket League was taken off of Steam, actually.
It was?
I'm pretty sure Rocket League is not available to re-download onto Steam. You can, but you need an old key code to get it onto Steam. The only reason I know this is because Dan and BK had me install stuff on these computers, and we couldn't do it off of Steam because you had to have it pre-installed or pre-bought before they took it off of Steam, because now it's on Epic. So I think that it's C because it's not on Steam anymore. So I think he can play it on Steam, but it won't be his most played.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you too. I think that's a good argument.
Yeah, okay, he doesn't own Rocket League on Steam, and now he never will because it's not on Steam anymore. True or false? In Super Mario Kart, the CPUs cheat.
Hey, they all be cheating against me when I'm in Mario Kart. They never want to see me win.
Okay, well, before we answer this, new thing about Mario Kart, upcoming on Monday, we have a Mario Kart tournament at 6.
See it back.
We will be streaming it. It will be streamed, so look out on Monday. We will have Mario Kart. Our casters is the wonderful Trinity, who's in the back room right now, and Daphne, our wonderful graphics lead. They will be here at the desk on Monday. Back to the question at hand, do the CPUs cheat? The only thing I can think about this in terms of Mario Kart is that if you're playing multiplayer, the things that you throw, I'm pretty sure, are not client-sided. So if you're playing something and then if you're playing like in a LAN match or something and it is client-sided, I'm thinking that I don't know, because there's weird things about Mario Kart where it's like you can only get a lightning every 30 seconds, or the blue shell can only come out every 45 seconds or something. There's like weird timings. So I think the CPUs probably can cheat and pull out weird items with like an under that time limit or something. So I'm gonna say true.
I was also thinking true, because I don't know. That just like sounds like a real fact. I don't know. That's my only basis for going with true. That just...
Yeah, they use items you cannot get ever.
Like what? Like...
What items can they not get, Backroom, Mr. Carlos?
You just like overtake Mario and he pulls out like a Glock.
Yeah, they can use items like the mushroom that you can't.
I don't
like
know what items you can't not ever, like items... They use something called a poison mushroom. I don't know what that is.
But that's like a bad thing. And the Mario thing, that makes you small.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Okay, on to Rocket League. 3 truths, 1 lie. The flip reset mechanic was added from a patch. There are 7 car hitboxes in the game. You can see eggs loving each other on a map. The Batmobile was once meta. I own the Batmobile. And I think the flip reset was not from a patch. Okay, I'm gonna say A, because the way flip reset works is when you hit the ground, you get your like flip back, but you can get it so that your tires hit the ball, and then it thinks you hit the ground, and that's why you flip reset, because you like land on the ball basically, and then it thinks you're on the ground, so it gives you your flip back. So
I'll just go with that too. I know nothing about Rocket League, so I will go with that.
I'm gonna say A, Carlos. The quiz is gone though. We will need that back. Aww.
Wow. Well, we got. We're just.
Okay.
I do think. Yeah, we are running out of time for the quiz.
Yeah, most likely.
We're gonna have to skip the rest of it, but. It's a pretty good quiz.
Solid. I didn't keep track of how many I got right.
Yeah, I was not keeping track either.
We're winners in the back room's hearts, and that's all that matters. We hope we're winners in the viewers' hearts as well. We love you all. Thank you for showing up. We hope you enjoyed that quiz. I wonder if any of you got any of the answers right at home. We probably should have asked that before the quiz started.
That's true. Yeah, they probably got all of them right. It was probably easy for them.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah, they were probably like, bro, of course the flip thing isn't.
Obviously, obviously the flip reset came from a patch. I know what patch it came from. That was 1.165 or something.
But
okay, we should be close to getting into game. I don't know what map we're starting on. We will figure that out shortly. Here soon. What do you think your predictions are for the map? What do you think they're gonna pick?
I'm not entirely sure what all maps are in the rotation right now.
Well, okay, so they have to pick. I think they start on a.
It's a control, right?
I think they start control, then go hybrid, and then go the full push cart map. That's the order they do it in Marvel Rivals. I play a lot of Marvel Rivals.
Dude, oh my gosh. Dude, I'm so unprepared for Overwatch this year because I'm playing so much Marvel Rivals.
Well, yeah. And here we go. Here we see Jeff actually coming out onto the Overwatch team. He swallows up the entire team and throws them off the map. Interesting 6K there, or 5K. This is Overwatch, not Rivals.
But, I'm trying to think all the control maps there are. I know there's a Lijiang Tower.
Mm-hmm. There's Lijiang Tower. There's, I think, Busan.
Is what's it called? I'm thinking of the Arctic one.
Oh, Antarctic Peninsula?
Yes.
Okay. There's that. There is, and then some of the hybrid maps. There is King's Row is usually in rotation. Another hybrid is Nepal, I think. There is, let's see, how many other hybrid maps there is. Another capture map is it's Malga's map. What is it's
something with an S, right?
Yeah, Samoa.
Samoa.
Yeah, Samoa.
Like the cookie.
Yes, like
close.
Speaking of cookies, the back room has Girl Scout cookies tonight. You all should support your local Girl Scouts and get Girl Scout cookies too. This is not an ad, but Girl Scout cookies are really good and you should go buy them.
What's your favorite one?
Okay. I was a sucker for Thin Mints forever until I got trefoils. I don't know if that's it's either trefoils or trefoils. I don't know the correct pronunciation, but they're shortbread cookies and they're really good.
I don't think it's been a while since I've had Girl Scout cookies, but I was always a Thin Mints. Thin Mint.
Do you have the
Oasis? Forgot about Oasis.
Yeah. Speaking of Girl Scout cookies, do you put your Thin Mints in the freezer?
I have before.
Okay.
They are pretty good. I usually just keep them in my pantry though.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have a freezer on campus, or my Thin Mints would be inside of them.
Yeah, you gotta get you a freezer.
Well, I have a fridge, but I don't have a fridge that has a freezer.
Doesn't have a freezer.
No, it's just a fridge. My roommate also just has a fridge. He doesn't have a freezer.
Huh. Is it a mini fridge or just?
I have the Xbox mini fridge.
You have the Xbox mini fridge? Okay, that's actually dope though.
I remember I saw that come out and I was like, that's so cool. I gotta get that. In practicality, the Xbox mini fridge, not that great. It's very small. It can fit about a few small snacks. If they're thin, you can stack them up vertically, but it doesn't really have much width to it, so the space in between really only it's not something for storing drinks. If you wanted to put cans of Coke, sure, but if you got the plastic bottles, no. They would you could probably fit 2 of them in there max.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, my roommate's mini fridge is much better, but I'm a broke college student and can't afford to get a new one, so.
Oh yeah, that's so real. I remember I had an old mini fridge that just my family has had since I was very little, and it was very old and very bad. But it's what else am I gonna do?
Yeah. I have a bigger fridge at home, but Ball State has a limit to the size of mini fridges, and unfortunately that one is too big and I cannot bring it. It's much nicer. It can fit probably about 40 cans of soda, but you just can't. I can't bring it because it's too big for the dorms and I would get in trouble.
We got Ball State in the red right now, and immediately lock it in. Now, okay, how do you feel about these characters right now? Almost the exact same team comp.
Yeah, okay, so obviously going to have the Lucio as the rollout. It doesn't seem like they're going to do Sim for a quick TP. Interesting quick lock onto onto Torbjorn there. But yeah, so we're seeing Genji from both teams. We're also seeing Sojourn from both teams. We're seeing Hazard from both teams. The only thing that switched up is that actually now they're the exact same. So they played Juno for a little bit there to give them a speed boost, and then they used Lucio's speed boost for even more quick speed to the point. So they just did a quick swap. Instead of Sim, they just went for Juno to kind of get that out. But here we go. The first team fight commences as Ball State's Hazard dived into the backline there for a short moment.
Yeah, and he's taking a good amount of space here. I mean, he's the only one on point right now. You know, that Lucio might try to come down there and contend, but it does not seem like it. Oh, right as I say that. And suddenly, you know, Droid's very low right now. No one else from Ball State's there with him. And it seems like they might lose this first point as Droid goes down.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bordy went down fairly early. Lucio did get a good trade with a boop, but it didn't make too much of a difference, and now Ball State's going to have to back up before they start feeding these people ultimates, so don't want to do that. Don't want to give KSU those ults. It's fairly similar. The supports are a little bit lacking on KSU's side compared to Ball State, but the DPS definitely have that little bit of an advantage, although both Hazard's ults are just very close together here. And now we're seeing Bordy now try to go up on the high ground a little bit. Going to try and get this Lucio while he's out of position. See if Yexter can't get a boop off the map, although with both Lucio and Genji, it's unlikely that they're going to not come back from that. But as I say that, Droid gets one, and now Bordy trying to secure another kill here as he goes in. Yexter gets a second one, although Bordy takes a good hit from Sojourn there as they dive onto the point. Tries to go in there with his dash, but he does get taken out by Sojourn. Spencer finishes up onto the other Sojourn, and Spencer just finishes the fight in general, giving Ball State possession of this point.
Yeah, that was just a really good team fight right there. You saw just the moment Ski went down for them, everything else, it was like dominoes. Everything else just started falling. And now they're just going to have to regroup. But Ball State pushing up here, which either can be very good or very bad for them. Got Hazard ult online, taking the wall to block the other Hazard, but he's just going to jump right over it. And looks like KSU is going to have to retreat back to spawn.
Yeah, that time definitely ticking up in Ball State's favor right now, trying to get that over that 45% so they can have that advantage. Just a little bit more, try to hold this for as long as they can, but Hazard going to try and get out, does get blocked. We see out comes the Sojourn ult, and the Hazard ult doesn't actually trap anybody but the Lucio there in the corner. Yexter gets a nice boop onto Sojourn there, and they're going to have to dive back, but Sojourn picks up another one onto Lucio, and they're just rushing them back to their spawn. Spencer gets a clean pick onto Hazard as he tries to get back to the spawn doors, and Ball State now over that 50% mark. They have definitely made a turnaround compared to that first few seconds of the game there.
Yeah, it's really not looking good for KSU right now. I mean, they got a few ultimates online, but Droid's there in their back line, gonna try and block off that Sojourn, and just barely gonna slip by. I believe we got the enemy Hazard ult right there, but did not seem to accomplish much. Got the Lucio, but that's about it, and they're gonna have to retreat again.
Yeah, Bordy does have Genji ult, the only ult now on Ball State's side. Ghost almost falls back just a little bit, enough to get some healing there. Hazard's now both in their face, gonna hold that block up for a little bit there. Goes to dive the Sojourn, runs out of her slide, but wow, in comes Bordy for two. Still gonna try and keep picking this off, see what they can do. Down goes Hazard. Just a Lucio now on point. Bordy picking up a clean 3K, and that is the first point to Ball State. For ending it with a team kill, wonderfully played.
Yeah, man, that was incredibly played by Ball State right there. They just found like every weakness in KSU's like comp right there. It seemed once they got someone down, once someone was dead, everyone else seemed to fall, which is kind of the way of Overwatch. But you know, the way Ball State does it, they're just gonna rush and they're gonna attack you, and you got to be expecting that. But going into the second point here, I'll be wondering, we're seeing a little bit of change from Ball State and their character selection here. Seeing a Winston and an Echo, which would be pretty interesting.
The camera's going to get hit by a car. No, look out!
No, it's an instant kill.
Oh, invincible camera. Uh-oh. Oh, that's bad. What? Somebody accidentally hit a command. All right, we're back. Welcome back. We're seeing KSU take a little bit of an immediate high ground here. Winston just holding that ground, see what he can do. He's probably going to go in for a lunge with any of his characters, but Hazard now up on the high ground with the Winston. Does he see him? He does, but he does also see the back line here as the Genji uses his dash to get away. Hazard follows the Winston, but he has his leap to get back to point.
And yeah, the Winston play was beautifully done right there. You know, just immediately ignores the Hazard, goes for the Genji, who can't deflect his laser beams. But Brody coming in here with the Echo, gonna get a droid falls, but so does Ski. But Brody also falls right after, and it's not looking good for Ball State as KSU takes the first point.
They did do this last round. We did see Ball State come back. They just need to find a little bit of that momentum to get back into this fight here. Hazard on the high ground. Same with Sojourn. The rest of KSU just playing a little bit of low ground there. Winston probably going to go for a little bit of a dive, trying to get Hazard off the high ground. Just going for a little bit of these quick snipes. They do see that the Genji and Lucio are out of position here. Genji doesn't have his dash, but he decides to fall away from him.
Ooh,
nice, well played. They do actually get most of KSU's out of position players down relatively fast, and now it's just Hazard on the point there, but he falls, and Ball State gonna take possession of this point once again. Start that clock to 100. We see Ball State here. Echo 92% with her ult. Second closest is Spencer there with Kitsune Rush at now 75%. So we're going to see probably that Echo ult come out here in this next team fight. We'll see who they decide to pick from. Most likely going to go for something like a Genji just because that ult is very, very strong. But we shall certainly see what happens here.
Yeah, and KSU's pushing up here now. You got to get that Winston just right in their backline, cause a lot of chaos. And, you can't see Ghost gets their Sojourn. And a lot of kills happen right there. Asteroid gets the Kiriko, but Brody falls. But there we go. Just that Genji left alone with the Winston, and there's not much you can do there. It's just Winston just going to cause havoc in their backline.
Yeah, Winston is really good just because once you see somebody use their movement ability, you know that you can play that really fast. So if you see Genji use his dash, you can just jump in as Winston and follow him. And now Genji doesn't have any way to get rid of your damage. He can't deflect it. He doesn't have his dash to get away from it. Now as I see this, down goes the rest of Ball State. We do see the Echo come out. So does the Winston.
Yeah.
Seems they changed into Hazard there, forcing KSU back into their spawn for the second time this game.
Yeah, this is a very unique or not very unique, but it's just a very different kind of strategy we're seeing for Ball State, just pushing so far up and keeping them in their ult that they just can't do anything, but they're rushing onto point right now. We got a Havoc ult, doesn't do too much. Ghost pops his ult, doesn't get too much either.
Ooh, shut down! Down goes the Genji ult. In comes Winston. Gets one. I don't know if they have the dash to get away from it. They don't. Hazard now low health as well. Can't block that damage coming from Winston. And there goes game one to Ball State. Well played. They held that very well.
Yeah, they held that incredibly well. It seemed right at the start of both rounds, the point goes to KSU. And you have like a moment of doubt there for a second, but Ball State just is able to just completely rush and dominate these team fights, especially, when they have ults and all their abilities. And, KSU just is not learning how to deal with it right now.
And this is the wonders of the Overwatch 2 replay system. Lucio got a single boop and then did about 16 damage total in that play of the game, when in the same kill cam we saw the Genji get 2 kills and so did the Hazard. Overwatch 2, everybody, we love to see it. But yeah, Lucio, well done with the play of the game there. Obviously earned. You got a single environmental kill, which counts about 200% according to Overwatch. But we will certainly go for a small bit of a break here as we talk in between games. Next map, I think they're going hybrid. I'm pretty sure the order is control hybrid, and then I think push. Or maybe cart. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. But going over just like what we saw, what were some standout moments, you think?
The Genji ult shut down. That's a huge one. You see Genji.
Huge.
You see Genji ult, and then Sojourn gets a clean pick, just using her railgun. So that was well played. We saw a lot of good moments from Winston. You see, like I was talking about in the game, you see somebody use their movement ability, and then you go for the dive with your own movement ability, and they can't get out because they have it's just waiting on recharge. What else did we see? We saw a good few moments where Ball State pushed KSU into their spawn. That was a good few seconds. They did that on multiple occasions on the first point, and then they did it on the second as well. Plenty of good plays from Sojourn there. Good headshots, good railgun usage. Unfortunately, her ult was a little overshadowed by a Lucio ult just because it's really hard to get kills during that. But next map here is Paraiso, I think that's how you say it, or Paraiso. I forget how to pronounce it. I am not Brazilian.
I believe it's Parisio.
Okay.
Got the classic
Lucio map.
Yeah, classic Lucio frog right there. I've actually never seen that frog. I've just never looked up right there.
Gamers don't look up. That's a key fact. But yeah, we have a little bit of a hybrid. So like I was saying, we are going to see that they have to get towards that first control point. Once they capture it, a cart will spawn, and then they have to push it all the way to where we're seeing right now on screen. That little green spot on the floor is the end of this map. I believe they have one checkpoint in between, because on control or on hybrid maps they have the first objective is technically a checkpoint, which gives them more time, and then they have the halfway mark, which is another checkpoint, and then the end of the map obviously isn't a checkpoint, it just ends the round. We'll see where Ball State starts on either offense, defense. Doesn't really matter. The goal is either stop or push, so we will certainly see what happens as we get there.
Yeah, and this map I've always thought is very, very interesting because it kind of is like the layout is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like square. I like to say there's lots of corners.
Oh, like geometrical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I feel like a lot of like if you think of, we're talking about other hybrid maps like Kings Row. I think is very much like smooth. You kind of you twist and turn, but like in Paraiso, I feel like so many just like blocks.
Yeah. Well, you have. Let's see. If you're thinking about like map, here I'm gonna draw it. Let me see. This one's bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. So you have starting door is down here in this corner.
We might get to see it.
Well, all right. Yeah, I guess we'll have to describe it as we see it. But there is the first capture point right there, right below the camera where it's standing. That little rectangular spot on the floor. And then obviously that line, if we follow that, takes it all the way towards the attacker spawn, and that's where they come from. You see all these little, nooks and crevices where they can come from to get around it. They have that high ground that's above the camera, and then this is obviously the main choke point where they're probably going to try to hold them the best. Ball State seems to be starting on defense here. They have Farah, they have Ash, as well as a Hazard, and then an Ana, and then a Kiriko. And then on KSU side, I believe they're starting on attack. They have Tracer, Echo, Winston. They have Ana in Brigitte.
I like these character picks from Ball State. They're choosing, got two snipers on there to defend this long distance range. You got Farah, who's going to be high up in the sky right there. Plus, mixed with the chaos that Havoc's going to wreak. This is going to be an interesting team comp to see, especially against KSU when they got pretty similar team comp.
Yeah, we see Ash just kind of holding the back line, obviously giving a call out that the Winston just used his jump, so now's a good time to dive him back. Tracer sitting up on the high ground trying to get a little bit of pick damage onto the Hazard there. We see Kiriko just holding that little side angle to keep Hazard alive, while the Ana sits in the back with the Ash. It's probably aimed for the Farah on high ground. But obviously, here comes most of KSU. They're still holding a little bit of that low ground, see if they can find an angle to push from. Farah holding that left side flank, trying to get as much damage in to get that ult as fast as possible. Most likely going to pair it with Ana. Good concussion nade there, boosting away the Winston before he could dive the Ash. But that shield does end up blocking the dynamite. But nice kill there onto the Echo as she's flying way up in the sky.
Yeah, some people might not know this, but Ash actually does less damage when she's scoped in. So you gotta do the strat is
it's more damage when she's scoped.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta Wait, is it more damage?
Yeah. So she has more damage when she scopes in, and then the trade-off is when she's not scoped in, she
just fires faster.
She lever actions it, so she can fire faster. It does a little less damage, but it basically goes from like quick shots in succession, like a kind of like we're seeing where you have that lever in the bottom of her rifle. She just flicks that real fast, and then more of a sniper whenever she ADS is down. But the good trade-off that you can do is you can do a little bit of a mechanic where you quick fire down scope, and then you un-ADS, and then you can fire another bullet in quick succession, which is what we saw on the Echo.
That's what I was about to mention. Yeah, that's what But just a complete shutdown there from Ball State. Droid just doing amazing work with this Havoc right now. A blue card, I think, falls off the map. We're not quite sure right there.
Probably to get back to their team so they're not staggered out.
Yeah, that'd be that's good play. But no, so far I do not think we've seen anyone from KSU touch point right now. And the Tracer switches to an Ashe right there, getting rid of their ults. They were almost had Tracer ult, but gonna lose all of that for Ashe, which I think is a fair trade-off here.
I mean, the Pharah, it's a really good trade. I mean, so you're doing basically the same thing that Ball State is doing. You have something to target the Echo who's flying around, and then you have an aerial unit of your own. So right now, the aerial unit for KSU is Echo, the aerial unit for Ball State is Pharah, and then you both have an Ashe to kind of deal with each other's aerial unit.
Ghost, man, the Winston's gonna go for Ghost right there, but Ghost holds his own for right now. But Alphabet's gonna fall, blue card falls, but Ghost pops his ult, gets the kill on Vegeta. Winston going after this far here, not a matchup you see a lot, and Winston wins.
Winston can basically fly when he's in his ult. If anybody knows the character Iron Fist, that is basically Winston in his ult. He has basically, his ult is on, or not his ult, his jump is on like a 2-second cooldown or 3-second cooldown, and so he can basically just, because of how long he can have airtime, just use his jump and then use his jump again to keep his airtime, so he can outmatch somebody like a Pharah and just get in melee range.
But even the ult does not get them on point, and they're going to have to be quick here. Oh, but that wall is blocked off most of KSU's team, and that Pharah ult is just going to get Winston. Echo's going to try her best here. We'll see what she can do. But Spencer's just going to teleport out. They're on point. It's contested, but Droid's down there doing work. And he cleans up.
Well done. They didn't even get a third of the point, which means that's all Ball State needs to secure this win. They just need a third of that point, and they win this game. KSU with 0% completion on that objective, so Ball State doesn't have too much they need to do to keep up with KSU. All they really need is one good team fight win.
Yeah, and I'm assuming, for character selection here, we'd assume Ball State's going to choose around the same characters they were just playing. We saw the Ashe, I think, works well on attack and defense. We might see the Winston come out again. We saw the Winston from KSU this time.
Oh?
But
the frog.
The Millennium Anxiety? Wow. That's actually so real.
Modern art right there, modern art. Oh,
right next to the Lucios.
The Lucy OOs. Extended version, it actually looks like that's I think that's a beat. I think that's a music track. Oh, Lucios, probably. And then internal monologue. I don't know. Is that Cordata remix, I think? And then
yeah, what's that said?
And then that Rejuvenaciana, or how do you say it's rejuvenate in English. But I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's I can't see it because the camera's shaking. Like Rejuvenacia or something like that.
I think they were shaking their head to say you were saying it right.
Cat. There's a cat.
That's a pretty cool cat.
It's not Brigitte's cat though. Brigitte has a cat of her own, which costs, I think, if I remember correctly, something like $15 or something. She has an emote where she pulls out a very chunky white cat, and it was very expensive.
I do know the expensive emote I always think of is the Roadhog one, where he pulls out I forget what they're called, the little plushie, where it's like
the Kachimaru.
Yeah, and it's like you could buy a real world one for less money than the emote.
Yeah, no, it was a charm. The charm was like $10, and in IRL it was like $7 or something.
But so far, got a little bit of contact here. You know, it seems like KSU's kind of just trying to play it safe. I mean, if Ball State even gets a third of that point, they win the entire game. So can't really take too many chances.
Ooh, that's a really good dynamite. Ball State's just going to start capturing this point. KSU is giving them a lot of space. They're going to have to contest this point here shortly, but Ball State's in a really good position to do that. And down goes Ash, and that's it. They can't get in time. Ball State takes it. Map 2.
Wow. Yeah, that was just a dominant force shown for Ball State. I mean,
KSU just gave Ball State so much space. They didn't contest the forward ground, and they just gave everything up, basically. They just said, here, you can have the point. We'll try and contest it, but they didn't really have much to do for a retake there. And here comes the Farah play of the game. Gets one, gets the Brigitte. Probably going to get the Winston as well, or as I like to call him, Winton. But, yep, secures that, and then back to point.
There we go. Yeah, man. That was a quick round that time.
But yeah, I believe it's not, the next thing isn't push. What is the name of it? It's not push. It isn't the payload. It is not.
Are you thinking? I don't know what it's called, but what's you gotta capture like 3 points?
Yeah, it's that. It's called. What is it called?
I don't remember it either.
I need to remember what this is because I've played Overwatch. I played these game modes. It is okay. Hang on. You have escort. You have hybrid. You have control. You have push, and then you have what is it called?
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
I know. I'm trying to remember. Does it start with an H? I don't. It's bugging me. What is it called? Oh, I did, but I just had it. I literally just had it.
Oh, that's the worst.
I just had it. It popped in my brain for a millisecond.
We're going to Servasa next.
What is this? Flashpoint. That's it. Yeah, Flashpoint. Starts with an F. Okay, yeah, Servasa Flashpoint. Okay. It is basically like Control, but faster.
I think Flashpoint might be my favorite mode in Overwatch.
Yeah. Flashpoint, there is another game mode. There is one more game mode that I'm forgetting. I could never remember it if I tried. Not like Flashpoint. I know it took me a minute to get it, but I do know Flashpoint. I don't know what the new game mode is called. I was there when they were beta testing it and I played it, but I don't remember what it's actually called. You have it's like Flashpoint, but you go from, you have everybody goes to the middle point, and then if whoever team wins it, it moves 1 point further away from you in a straight line.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what we're talking about. I don't know the name for that one either.
I don't know what the game mode is called.
I can think of them. I know exactly how the map looks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on Hanaoka. I think is the map. It's
and there's another one for I think it's like Samoa. No, it sounds not like Samoa.
It's the temple.
The Egypt one.
Yeah, it's the Temple of Anubis one.
Yeah. I do like that they're kind of they're taking the maps that we lost
and
from Overwatch
back,
1, and they're bringing them back in a new way, which I do like.
I miss Volskaya. I like Volskaya.
I really missed. I'm forgetting it. The Japan one starts with an H, right? I want to say Hanoka?
It's Hanamura.
Hanamura.
Yeah.
I really liked that one from Overwatch 1, but apparently I was in the minority because I have heard a lot of people talk about how much they hate that map.
It was, okay, the issue is the only way you could get onto point was go through one big choke point. There was no other way to get around it unless you were a character that could fly. And back then, that character was Farah, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could maybe get over it with Junkrat, but back then, Junkrat only had one mine to fly with, so there wasn't actually a good way to get over it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even have characters like Echo yet.
No, you didn't have Echo. You didn't have...
do you think Ash with the coach could get over
I don't think... No, it was too big of a wall. Lucio could probably wall ride over it.
Sure.
Winston maybe could get over it. I don't remember how high his jump was back then, or if they've increased it at all.
Mm-hmm. But pretty standard. I mean, we got the return of the mirror match here. Same exact teams. Got a big Hazard fight up there on the pillars and a Genji fight as well with Lucio. They're just going to be trading blows here for right now.
Ooh.
Nothing. Oh, Hazard.
Good dive there, yep. Down goes Lucio. Hazard now next to fall in line. If he doesn't jump away, he does. Hazard also going to go for that high ground, but he's still low on health. We switch over to Sojourn here as we see if they try to get one off. Lucio goes for the back dive there, but ooh, she does fall. Droid does get the trade, though. Droid goes for a clean three-piece there. Gets the Kiriko, gets the Sojourn, and finishes off onto the Genji, giving Ball State the first point there. And as you can see, it ticks up based on how many people are actually on the point. So with one, it's moving actually faster, and if none of them were standing on it, you can see it moves slower. So it's kind of like a payload map where at the maximum 3 people standing on it, it will go as fast as it does. And I think that rule stays the same in Flashpoint, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right, yeah. I think it stays the same. But seeing a bit of a split up of KSU here, trying to attack 2 points, but it seems like they might all go back to that main point right there. And they're slowly creeping up here. Now they're actually changing the point they're trying to attack from. All leaves them exposed.
All this delayed time, though, is just giving Ball State more and more percentage on the point there. We do see the Lucio does get traded by Lucio himself. Sojourn does get the tank, but down goes Genji. We're going to see if they can keep this up. Down goes Kiriko. Lucio probably next to fall. Ooh, going to get stuck by the ult. That's pretty big. It's just 2, I believe it's 1 DPS and 2 support, but they do end up securing it. And I don't think the KSU is going to have to be, I don't think they're going to be able to get back in time before that point goes to Ball State.
Yeah, we saw the first point take, or the first time KSU takes a point for Ball State there. Very interesting way of doing it, you know, kind of sneaks around, which works for a little bit, got them 15%, but obviously did not win them the point. And going on to the garden here, we see KSU already on point. Ball State's going to have to do something to get it on there. We got Kiriko's ult right now. But, I mean, KSU has got a few ults to themselves. We might see 1 or 2 come out right now. There we go.
Yeah, here comes Kitsune Rush. Probably have that Lucio ult in the background if needed. We could possibly see the Genji ult if they are clustered up here, but doesn't seem to do it, just instead taking that point for Ball State. Out comes the KSU Kitsune Rush. Only person who gets trapped is the Hazard there, but out comes the Lucio ult to try and save him. He does back up. His support's going to try and keep him alive. He's really low, but he gets out of there in time, and KSU goes back to secure that point.
There we go. Both teams, you know, using their ults to get the point there, and I think that's pretty smart of KSU to let Ball State take it first, but I mean, they're going to retaliate with their own ults. I don't think they realized how many ults Ball State actually had. But blue cards pulling some weight, but Ghost is pulling even more. They're going to take that ult right back from KSU.
Let's see here. We have Genji does still have his ult, but so does the KSU Genji as well. Lucio ult in the background to try and save anybody, or possibly use it to get in with a good push there. Ball State going to try and build up their ults again. They're very close to getting both Kitsune Rush and Hazard's ult as well. The rest of them going to have to wait just a little bit longer to get it. Good dive onto... Oh, that was well played. The Genji ult does come out, but with the Lucio ult in the background, not many kills probably going to come off of that. 40 does end up falling. They're going to try and keep possession of this point here. See if they can do anything. Hazard ult may come out as they stay in a line here, but also may save it for the next team fight. Going to try and get out. Kitsune does come out from Ball State here. We're going to see what happens as they go for a quick dive onto the Lucio, see if he can get out in time. We see the Hazard ult come out, but it doesn't look like he's going to get anybody. It does actually get the Lucio on the side there, and a few trades come out, but it doesn't look like Ball State's going to have the numbers to secure this point.
And that was a... KSU held that down very well. I mean, 2 ults came out from Ball State there, and although Ball State almost got the point, they were able to hold it. And now Ball State's in a very weird position here. They don't have any ults, which they've been using to get these points from KSU. But, I mean, Hazard gets a kill with the wall right there. Yeagstar gets Koishi, and it seems like KSU is leaving the point right now. Got Hazard, just going to keep that point for them right now, but he's low. And he falls.
KSU did end up getting that to 99%, so they held that much better than they did the first point, but again, just loses that one key team fight, and that point will also go to Ball State. All they need is one more point, and they secure this game in their favor. Sorry, excuse me.
Now we got 2 ults from here from KSU. We got Hazard ult and we got the Sojourn ults. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of those comes out soon. Especially, but I feel like if one of them comes out, we might see Ball State use their Lucio ult. But so far, Ball State's doing a pretty good job just staying on point here, tiptoeing around. You know, KSU slowly pushing up there, but not pushing up too far.
See what they can do here. Ball State's Hazard is kind of holding that. We're going to see what Droid can do here as KSU's Hazard goes to dive the point there. Does go for a little bit of a block onto the side there, but with one person on high ground behind the Hazard, he's going to have to play up against that wall really tight. Sojourn is going to go for that high ground player. Ooh,
Sojourn
barely avoids getting trapped, but does end up falling to a blue card's ult as well. Just a few members of KSU's still remain, but they're most likely going to fall as they go to dive their last remaining players onto this point here, and Ball State's going to start securing that objective for themselves, and that timer is going to tick down for KSU.
Yeah, that's pretty tough for KSU right there. I mean, they got KSU's Hazard just fell, and I mean, when your tank falls in the 5v5 Overwatch format, there's not much you can do to win that team fight there, especially if Ball State still got their tank. But they're going to try to push up again. They got that Lucio ult in their pocket if they want it. But Hazard's going to use his ult right now, going to trap the Hazard, going to use the wall to block the rest of KSU from getting to him, but the Genji ends up getting the kill.
That quick dash reset. Anybody who does not know, when Genji gets a kill with his dash, it immediately gives it back to him, so he can go from one player to the next in quick succession. And he actually got a second player with the dash again, so his dash did come back off of cooldown even more so he could have used it a third time, which he did, to go right back on point. Here comes the Kitsune Rush. Both Kitsune Rushes from both teams here. Down goes Sojourn. Genji ult does come out, but he falls too, gets shut down by Bordy as well. Bordy still has his ult for this upcoming point here. Probably going to use it just to get this point secured back in their favor. So go from that 99% to a win here. It is now just the Hazard left on point as well as the Lucio. No ult. Down goes Lucio. Down goes Hazard. Ball State just going to take this point right back. They're going to have to start rushing this point to try and get back in. We see Tracer come in. Tracer falls really fast and does not last long enough. Ball State win. Ball State victory overall. Well done.
Yeah, wow. That was
we didn't get to
something.
See the, aw, no play of the game. Unbelievable.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there it is. Here comes Bordy. Gets one dash. Gets a second kill. Goes for the Lucio. Goes for the dash. Gets it. Turns around. Dashes. Gets it. 4K for Bordy. Well played.
Wow. Man, that was just a dominant performance from Ball State right there.
3-0.
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, we saw, the closest KSU got to taking Ball State down was that Garden Point.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting.
Well, I mean, the main issue with a map, the main issue with Flashpoint is because the point gets captured so fast, the team fights matter incredibly more than something like a control map, because you can't boost how fast the control point progresses. So if you're playing control and you lose a team fight, well, based on just math alone, you can say, well, if we get back in this time, we have this many team fights back based on how fast we can get back to that point. But in Flashpoint, they can progress that point faster and faster just by existing on the point. So when they end up doing that, you have so many little team fights that you can do, and if you lose one major one, then that's like 30-40% on the Flashpoint.
Okay, yeah. But we got an interview for right now. I was about to say with us today. Just say your name. What's going on? Yakester. What's going on?
Pretty good game. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
Hard fought victory. They were a good team, so put in a lot more effort.
You're a much better Lucio, though.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My question's mainly, this is a weird one. Why do you think Overwatch just gives play of the game to Lucio if he gets like 1 environmental kill compared to like a Genji that gets like 4 with Blade?
Environmentals are worth more than a normal kill. So especially I'm not finishing a kill, like let's say Bordy Blades, if he doesn't kill them full health to 0 and he's getting like 1 shot on them, it counts less than me getting 1 full environmental.
Well, because does even if they have like 1 health and you get an environmental kill, does
it's still
worth much more? Okay, so it
health doesn't matter. It'll always be worth a certain amount.
I just thought you were like the GOAT at Lucio, and they were like,
he is the GOAT at Lucio.
Yeah, and I thought they were like knowing that, and they're like, you got this kill. I mean, like, come on, we gotta give it to you. We gotta give it to the GOAT.
This is the Yakester on Lucio. He gets 1 environmental kill. Play the game every day of the week.
It's like not putting LeBron in your top 3 players of all time. It's like
pretty much.
Speaking of the Lakers, Luka Doncic is.
How do you feel about that trade? That's my first question to you. How do you feel about the Luka trade?
Bordy's upset about it, so I'm upset about it.
Yeah. Interesting trade, but that's besides the point. Do you have any questions here for Yakester?
Yeah, going into that last game right there, we saw you kind of took like every point away from KSU really quickly, except for that Garden point. Was there anything like going like through the team's mind, like for just this 1 point that they got to 99%? Was there any maybe worry or any switches of plans? Just what was going down?
Maybe not like in terms of worrying, but especially that point, it's very easy to do ult trades. Everyone's only a corner away from each other, so it's really easy to turn 1 corner and hit everybody with your ult, whatever you're using. So it's just kind of a back and forth play, and it's a lot of patience on our part and coordination. Jack wants me and Bordy, when we're on the off angle, we're taking our split as Jack is walking. So it's just coordination is pretty much going to win that point.
Hey, yeah.
Okay. Final question for me: what drew you to Lucio? I know he's just good in the meta, but other than that, is there a fun reason that you play Lucio?
I played in Overwatch 1 back in the day. I was a DPS player, and I never had healers on my team before Roll Q. And I played Lucio one time, and I was like, it's kind of like DPS, so I don't really heal people. I just go kill. And then ever since then, I've just stuck to it.
Yeah. Do you prefer speed boost or healing aura?
Speed.
Okay.
I guess I'll do one final question.